They'll run it now out of the gun. He's at the 50, 30, the 20, 10, touchdown, Philadelphia. A big play there with his 16th touchdown of the year. And the Eagles have taken the early lead. The first play from scrimmage, some of these people haven't even taken their seat.
That's what is commonly known as a fast start. That's what my horse racing friends would say. They caught a flyer out of the gate, and guess what? They're in the lead now.
And his kick is good. Elliott now to kick this one away. This fielded at the 2. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. Running. And it worked his way across the 30 to the 32. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 2. If these kinds of lanes are available, you have to feel like he's going to have a pretty big game on the ground.
Yeah, you can tell early on he's got a little burst in his step, and that's a big pickup right there on first down.
Now a 2nd down throw for Kaiser. Throw left side complete. That's Fields. And he's finally taken down, but not before getting across midfield and across the 45-yard line.
Here we go.
Kaiser now to throw on first down. Quick hitter here, it's complete. 20! And he is taken down deep in Philadelphia territory. Give him 30 yards there.
I don't mean to jump in on you, partner, but they didn't waste any time getting downfield, did they? I mean, a nice big play there.
3 plays, 3 successful plays in plus territory. Now this defense on its heels a bit.
It seems like they had something targeted there, doesn't it? It's like, okay, we've got a matchup we like coming right out of the gate. Let's go ahead and get right to it.
A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. Defense in a good spot. Let's see how the offense responds with a 2nd and 13 now. Now Kaiser. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he is out of bounds, getting it down to the 10. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
In recent years, the slot receivers really gained stature in the NFL because they can do so many things. Yes, they can line up wide like your normal wide receiver, but to have that kind of courage and toughness to run routes in the middle of the field and become dependable targets for their quarterbacks and move the sticks, those guys are worth their weight in gold.
And he takes it in. Touchdown, Washington. Well, go ahead and strap in, partner. Less than 2 minutes in, had the score on the one side. A quick answer, though, to get the equalizer.
Sometimes you get that sense of urgency that ratchets up, right? When you give up an early touchdown like that, you just know you're like, okay, how do we go back and equalize things? Can we get it done fast? And they absolutely did. Essentially, we're back to even, aren't we?
So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And he is hit pretty hard from the side as he's knocked down at the 15-yard line.
Well, conventional football 101, tells us if you don't get it back to the 20-yard line on a kickoff return, that's a disappointment. But some of these team special teams coaches, with approval by the head coach, they give them full authority to go ahead and bring it out and try to be aggressive. Almost what we call the green light, red light theory. Green light means go, red light means stop. Looks like he had green on that play.
And he'll lose yardage on this one back to the 13. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. A tale of two extremes. First carry, he went for a bundle. His second goes backward.
And how many times have we seen that happen? Because you get that big carry, and you come back and you're all fired up, and sometimes you force a run a little bit, right? Trying to break off that big carry again. And instead, it works opposite.
Wentz to throw on second down. And this is incomplete.
There's so much precision in an offense, especially when you're throwing the ball. And in an out route, plenty of it. How about the quarterback hitting his back foot, ball's out of his hands, receiver making his break, making his cut. He's got to time up perfectly. Not always easy to do.
Just let him a little too much.
Yeah, I remember back in the good old days, I was talking to a quarterback, and he said everything they did was on the count system. So when he took a snap, he counted in his head for certain routes, different time frames for each one, and he knew if the ball wasn't out of his hand at that.
He's got a man, complete. Past the 20, 10, touchdown, Philadelphia. A big play there, 87 yards, and the Eagles have taken the lead. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
This will be taken in at the 1. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Out comes the Redskin offense now as they get set to begin another possession. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
To throw, Kaiser firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. A gain of 6 there on first.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
And now here's a carry heading left. And hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose. And fortunately for him, he's able to get it back. But it will be a loss on the play. And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively. From the shotgun, it's Kaiser. Eagle pressure, too much this time. Down he goes. He probably feels like he cannot get a break. He was sacked 7 times last week. And here we go again in the first quarter.
And we always talk about the internal clock of a quarterback in the pocket and how he has to have a real keen sense of it in order to get rid of the football. After being sacked 7 times last week, that clock has been sped up.
And he'll be out of bounds right at the 35. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10. Here comes Eagle offense now as they get set to take over here. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
Hoping now to get back in the end zone on this 4th possession. And a nice carry there of 15 yards. From midfield, here's Wentz. And down he goes. They bring down Wentz on the sack. Well, they go play fake. The problem is nobody was faked out.
And when no one's faked out, what's the end result?
Sack.
Quarterback gets hit.
Now Wentz throwing on second down. And he's going to go down again. Gerald McCoy in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year.
Well, the beauty of screen passes is they take a little time to develop, and they can often hit big, but sometimes they take too long to develop, and sometimes you get sacked.
Yeah, what's perfectly called for a defense to attack a screen?
Typically a blitz, and even though people think that the screen operates against the blitz, if you have the blitz called and you still cover the screen, now that allows your blitzers to get there.
And heavy contact. He is knocked down hard. A heck of a play there on third down, but amazingly, they're still short for 4th. They'll break the huddle here and go for it. This is 4th down. They'll go for it. It's Wentz. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line. They told us repeatedly earlier in the week in our meetings, we need some plays from our defense here on the road early. They got one.
And don't think they were above all week long pointing out to their defense that the other defense is rated higher than them. You going to let that happen, guys? Is that how we're going to play? And they responded to the challenge.
Being chased out left. And he will go down outside of the pocket for a sack. Tried to get away, but could not. Ezekiel Ansah in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year. A little bit of ground to make up for the offense as they face a 2nd and 11. Now a handoff as they run left side. And able to get a couple as he's across the 40 to the 41. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well. But when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him. And some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
And the D looking like they may blitz. On 3rd down, Kaiser. Pressure comes, and down he goes. The Eagles get there for the sack. Timmy Jernigan in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Call that a 46-yard punt with a net of 40 on the 6-yard return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Eagles offense back out onto the field. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
That'll go as a loss of 5. And it'll be a 2nd and long. Now this time, Wentz will throw. Throwing left side here, and it's complete. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a 3rd down.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-armed guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the 1st. They give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. That one good for 10 yards. And that'll bring up a 2nd in just about a few inches here.
Boy, where would these guys be without his performance on the ground? That puts him over 100 yards now for the afternoon, and I tell you, he seems to be getting stronger as the day goes along.
And now here's a carry heading left. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
They go play action here on first down. And this is Ertz with it, right side. And a big hit. Knocked down sideways. That throw good for 4. It's second down.
Brandon, they didn't get everything they wanted out of that play, but the tight end did. And I don't mean it in a positive way. Great job of him holding on after absorbing that big hit.
On second down, here's Wentz. Over the middle, it's complete. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains. Now they try the right side here. And a short gain here down to the 22. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Nice job by that defensive front there to hold him to a short gain on first down. Well played, I must say.
Yeah, only getting 1 yard. There was no room to run. On play action, Wentz. Trying to get it to Ebron, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 14. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
Following the interception, Kaiser. And his throw is incomplete.
The one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown him a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after him. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. Now a handoff as they run left side. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks. Two minutes to go here in the first half. We'll come back to Philadelphia after this.
We got three. Three deal. Hey, fella, we got 3. Let's go. Single slot. Let's go.
And the D-line pinching together must be expecting the run. They'll throw here. Kaiser. And he'll be out of bounds up past the 45. Another nice gain. 16 yards there and a first down again.
If you're running out route, it's likely you're going to end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was a catch.
Defense showing blitz.
Let's go.
A first down throw for Kaiser. Kaiser hit, and he lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Play action now. Kaiser. He sets to fire deep. Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. Picked off here by C.O. Moore. And he's going to get this one to the 23-yard line. Here's the Philadelphia Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. And 2 interceptions thrown here in this first half. You hear it, no matter the sport, they say the great athletes, they can kind of have a short-term memory, but that's easier said than done.
It is easier said than done, but I played with a guy who threw 2 interceptions in the first quarter of a really big game we were playing.
Johnny Unitas?
And no, not quite of that level and not of that age. But I was
going for the age.
I remember looking over at him, and he was smiling. And I thought, what is he smiling about? It's because he had enough confidence in himself that that was a fluke. And he went out and played pretty well the rest of the day.
See if they stay on the ground for second down. Possible run anticipation. Here's the D-line sandwiches together. Here's Wentz to throw. And a reception made by Alshon Jeffrey. And a nice gain of 21 yards. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
Wentz. He finds Aguilar over the middle. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a first down. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. Fresh set of downs here. Again, it's Wentz. To the right side to Eric Ebron. And able to get this down inside the 15 to either the 13 or 14 before he's out of bounds. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. Wentz to throw again. And he can't hang on. That's definitely going to be one he wishes he had back. Incomplete in the end zone.
Those throwing windows get a lot tighter near the end zone, don't they? And here's the thing. You already probably have 3 points in your hip pocket. You force a throw here and give up an interception, you come away with nothing.
Especially tough in the middle third of the field where he threw that one. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he will have the first down before he's tackled at the 12. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action. First down and 10 now for the offensive group. Now Wentz. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked up by Fabian Moreau. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. Well, that's 3 picks he's now thrown in this game.
And I know this, the holiday season, because here we are in December.
Season of giving.
Right, it is the season of giving. Maybe for his own sake after the game, he may have to announce that he's donating certain amounts to charity for each interception that he threw.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he will lose yardage on the play. Back at his own 19-yard line. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. So the D-line's going to spread out. Kaiser now on second down. Eagle pressure, too much this time. Down he goes. And now they'll take a timeout defensively. After the second down play, they burn the timeout. making him sweat out the final few ticks here in the second quarter. So a tough spot for Kaiser. The sack, and now it's 3rd and long. Final play of the half. Kaiser. He's going to float this over the middle deep. They've got his man complete. And all the way down to the 35. So we've come to halftime here in Philly with the Eagles on top. As we send you down to Orlando, where we check in with Larry Ridley and our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Larry. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. So out now come the Redskins. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
Second down, Kaiser. Over the middle, and it's incomplete.
It's always tough for the guys throwing the football when they think they've got a completion and the ball's almost there, and then someone sneaks a hand or two in and bats it away.
The Redskins on third down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 3.
Here we go.
Working out of the gun. Here's Kaiser. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Ward. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this into enemy territory across the 40. That one goes for 29 yards on third down. So after that big play, let's see if they can catch their defense maybe on their heels.
Let's go.
First down, Kaiser. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Derek Barnett in there to get him for sack number 9 now on the year. Now a second down throw for Kaiser. Looking left sideline, it's complete. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 20-yard line. A very solid gain of 27. And the next snap coming inside the red zone here. Now a handoff here to his running back. And not able to break away this time as they're going to stop him right around the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. Offense still needing 10 yards. Second down. Here's Kaiser. And that's going to be incomplete.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. The Redskins on third down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. From the gun, Kaiser. That is caught at the 7. And he gets the first down yardage he needs before he's brought down at the 6. And the 8th play on this drive coming up. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
And not only did he drop it, he dropped it in the end zone.
Now we got 3rd and goal coming up, and couldn't you imagine being in that huddle, partner? You know they're looking at each other saying, we can't come away with just 3 points after this drive.
Yeah, they've covered a lot of ground. They want more than that 3. And this offense on 3rd down today, they've converted 4 times out of 6. Not bad. They're looking at a 3rd and goal here. Kaiser to throw it. And it falls incomplete after almost being intercepted. A pick there would have been great. The good news for the defense now, it's 4th down. Now on comes the Washington field goal unit. From the right hash, and this one just a chippy. And this one is right through. And they'll cut the lead back down to 4 now at 14-10. And, Charles, they get the field goal. Took them a dozen plays, though.
Work with me on this one. You know what I'm about to say, right? Bend but don't break. That's what came into play here for the defense. 12 plays were run at them. They only gave up 3 points. In a lot of ways, that's a win for the defense.
So here are the Eagles now as they get set for their first possession of the second half. And 3 interceptions in this game. And I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, you're like, oh, man, I can't throw 4.
No, what's interesting is, what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive strategy? Do you take the ball out of his hands and maybe turn to the running game? Or do you have that supreme confidence that he's going to turn things around?
We'll see what they do. And he's brought down, but not before getting across midfield to the 45. So they pick up the first down after the run, and now they approach for the fresh set. Working from the gun, Wentz. The 20. Hurts over the middle. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 20-yard line. A really good pickup of 28 yards. Now the offense lining up 1st and 10. From the red zone now, Wentz. He'll set up the screen to McCoy. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. LaShawn McCoy hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Eagles add on to their lead. It's good, and it's 21-10. Elliott now to kick this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Now the Redskins offense, they get set to go back to work here. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
But these guys are going to chop into that deficit. They got to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
To throw, Kaiser. Looking middle, and that's complete. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
On 3rd down, Kaiser. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
That's a 1st down if he holds on, but you saw the contact, able to jar it free from him and force a 4th down.
Great play defensively there, as you said, just to knock it free, because if he had caught that, past the sticks, 1st down. His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. And he couldn't get it to check up. That kicks all the way into the end zone for a touchback. The Eagles coming out as they get ready. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline. Because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
He can't avoid the pressure. Redskins get there.
Well, that play was the very definition of fast, quick, and in a hurry. Suddenly, he was there.
Yeah, blink of an eye. That happened fast and a big sack. And welcome back. We are in the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia. Play action. Now Wentz. And he's going to go down right near the goal line. The officials look at each other. They're going to mark him at the 1-yard line.
Brandon, more often than not, you'd say they've had his number, and we can count them up so far. 1, 2, 3, 4 sacks given up. But guess what? He's still been able to make some plays, and right now they have a lead.
Eagles coming up here on a 3rd and long, so Wentz and company with some work to do after the sack. On the give, this is their fullback. And he's able to get this one up to the 8-yard line this time. 7 yards on the carry there, but now they're staring at 4th down. This is where, 4th quarter, you got the lead, you give it to the big guy. Defensively kind of sucks the will out of them, doesn't it? Because they don't want to tackle him right now this late in the game.
Well, you say that with accusatory tones. I mean, but you're exactly right. I know it's not something we actually want to talk about, but as a defender, 4 quarters worth of trying to bring people down, 4 quarters worth of pounding, and now late in the game, here comes that big guy coming at you, and a lot of guys are wondering where they want to come up and make that tackle at this stage of the game.
And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline. And the punt goes out of bounds. Where will they put it? They'll put it just inside the 45-yard line. The Redskins offense now, they head back onto the field. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
Seems pretty obvious defensively a key was stopping the run game. How have they done it so successfully?
To me, it seems that these guys really did a nice job of paying attention during the scouting report meeting. And you know, Brandon, when they do those, they talk about the top plays that these guys like to run. The best runs for the top running back, those are the ones you focus on and want to take away. And they've done that pretty successfully in this game.
6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down. The Redskins on third down. They're at 50%, 4 for 8. This time they face a 3rd and 2.
Here we go!
From the shotgun, it's Kaiser. Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. Touchdown, Washington! A great effort there with a lucky number 13 touchdowns now on the year. And the Redskins are able to make this a close game again. All right, now a big 2-point conversion attempt still to come.
Let's go!
Now Kaiser. And this is caught. They got it. And that could be an important 2 points that gets him back within a field goal. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Philadelphia getting set to take the field.
And I would say they went 3 and out last time, but actually they didn't even get to 3 and out. Still a strange decision to us here in the booth.
Yeah, let's hope they don't go 1 and out, but maybe, possibly, let's try and think with them here. Try and play field position maybe, turn the ball over, put it in the hands of their defense. Who knows?
You're a nice man.
Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch.
Here we go, here we go. Lead squad 3, lead squad, make some
Now a handoff looking right. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Brandon, you know how many times we've done games, and at the start of the fourth quarter, we see both teams hold up the 4 fingers, fourth quarter is ours. Well, how about this drive? You saw the 4 fingers for 4-minute offense. And this offensive line has really hunkered down and established themselves.
Now, this is where they say, put the game on our shoulders, we'll lead the way, right?
No doubt about it. And let me tell you, if you're a running back, all you want to do is get behind those big fellas, have a little vision, and find some space.
And a solid way to do that on the first play of the drive there. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving. And at this stage of the game, time a factor, time on their side as they just try to eke out the final precious moments of this one. First carry now for the backup, LaShawn McCoy. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. The fourth quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
Time is starting to run out, really becoming a factor. We'll see if the defense can get the stop they need to get the ball back to the offense. And now here's a carry heading left. And he'll push his way up to about the 44 here. And now, defensively, they're going to burn their first time out. Remember, they get an extra time built in coming up here shortly at the 2-minute warning. One of the bigger plays in the game thus far. The crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down. Wentz going to throw. And that is incomplete.
So much of this game is about leverage. We always talk about low man wins in the trenches. Well, it's like that in just about every position. And sometimes, if you lose that leverage and you're losing the battle, just jump up at the line of scrimmage and try and bat the ball away. And that's exactly what happened there.
The Eagles send out their punter now. On for his second punt. He'd take a repeat of his first. This is away and a very good kick angled for the sidelines. This one angles out of bounds in a good spot in the coffin corner. And they're going to mark this out of the 5-yard line. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. Well, things are starting to move in the right direction. They get the touchdown last drive, then their defense gets them the football back.
Yeah, now they have a chance to get the lead if they can put something together here. And I'm eager to see how they decide to do it. Do they want to be methodical, or do they want to take the big strike and go after it right now?
Quick hitter here, it's complete. And they'll mark him down right around the 9, just shy of the 10. That throw good for 4. It's second down. Time for a break. We're back to see what happens after this. Shift together here from the D-line. To throw is Kaiser. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off at about the 31. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Eagles defense gets a pick-6 TD. And so much for the game-winning 2-minute drive. I think that interception return there pretty much seals the deal.
And one thing to keep in mind, in this situation with the score that close, defense isn't backing off and just giving you easy throws. They're playing aggressively as well, and they end up picking that one off and sealing the deal for themselves.
This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Out comes Washington's offense as they get set to take over here. And to give this time to the tailback. And he's got room. And he is into the end zone for a Washington touchdown. A great play there with his 14th touchdown of the year, second of the game. And the Redskins have made this a one-score game. And the lead is down to a field goal now. So they got their touchdown, now down a field goal. Here comes the onside kick. And the Eagles hands team able to cover it up. And now looking at the clock here, they do have 2 timeouts, but even if they force a 3-and-out, they're going to have very little time remaining.
So that means they've got to be aggressive and find a way to knock the ball free. They've got to come up with it because they can't just rely, as you noted, on using their timeouts and getting the ball back. They might not have any time to mount an attack, even if they do play it that way. Get the football. That's their mantra.
Wins to throw. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. They'll get a couple yards on that one, and it'll be second down. Now a second timeout called for by the defense. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. And the D-line pinching together must be expecting the run. Now a handoff as they run left side. Oh, no, he lost the football. And the Redskins scoop it.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense. Back to throw. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
Second down following the incompletion. He's back to throw. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. He's picked off near his own 48. And they will be set up now as he brings this thing all the way back inside the 20. So now he's equaled his interception total from a week ago. Remember, Charles, he had 3 last week.
And you know, all week long he vowed to take that number down. Told the guys on the team, don't worry, things are going to pick up. I've got this. But he is in a major league rut right now. Let's see if his teammates can pick him up along the way.
You're right. He talked about being cool, calm, collective, rebounded. And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. LaShawn McCoy with touchdown number 2 in the game and now 11 on the year. And the Eagles take advantage of good field position on the turnover to cash this one in. And he knocks it through. So 5 yards for running into. Lucky it wasn't 15 for roughing.
No doubt about it, because they protect the kickers and the guys holding the ball almost as much as they protect quarterbacks in the pocket. They don't want those types of injuries.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. They might be thinking this is close to a lost cause here. Got to play it out. What do they need to do?
Well, they have a thought process in mind already, but they can't get ahead of themselves. They know that they need to score quickly.
Yep, 2-score game.
Onside kick and get the ball back and then score again, but they can't worry about the last 2 points. The only thing that matters is scoring quickly, then they'll take it from there.
Here's Kaiser. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Derek Barnett in there to drop him as the clock continues to roll.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
Obviously a tough spot here. They need a lot of luck to win this game, but still a small chance.
They've got to make sure they get the ball to the sidelines, get out of bounds, preserve clock.
And a very short pickup there across the 15 to the 16. Call it a 3-yard gain, but they'll be forced into a 3rd and 15 coming up. One final shot for Kaiser. And this is dropped it incomplete. Well, there's a metaphor for how this one is gone. As time has run out on this ball game. Charles, we saw a lot of points go up in this one. Certainly defensively, stuff that they can look at on film, don't you think?
No doubt about it. And they've got to go back and check where the errors are, how they're going to fix them, and continue to get better at what they do. But they also need a little adjustment with their confidence. To give up that many points, even if you win a game, that can hurt you.
So for the Eagles, the wins keep coming as this one moves them to 12-3 on the year. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Meanwhile, for Washington, their playoff hopes take a big hit as they fall to 8-7. And they'll have a tough one at home next week against the Denver Broncos. So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Eagles are winners here as we say so long from Philadelphia.